Hello everyone, in this video we're going to talk about relationships between angle pairs. Now for our learning target in this video, I can describe and explain the relationships between angle pairs based on their measures. First, let's start with complementary angles. So two angles whose measures sum up to 90 degrees. So for our first example, we do have this angle PRA and angle ARO. We do have 55 and 35 degrees. So if we're going to sum this up, we would have 90 degrees. Okay, so that means this pair of angle is considered complementary angles. So another example, we can also have this angle K and angle N, which also sum up to 90 degrees. So 48 degrees plus 42 degrees, that would be 90 degrees. So definitely, this is a pair of complementary angle as well. Now, moving on to another angle pair, that would be supplementary angles. Two angles whose measures sum up to 180 degrees. So for our first example, we do have this angle S and angle H. So 145 degrees plus 35 degrees, that would be 180 degrees. Okay, one more example, we do have 130 degrees plus 50 degrees. It would sum up to 180 degrees. So as you can see in our example, it doesn't matter if the two angles are adjacent or not. We just need to consider their measures. So apart from that, there's no other conditions. Just get the sum of the given pair of angles, and if the sum is equal to 180 degrees, then we can classify them as supplementary angles. So same manner with the complementary angles a while ago, it does not matter if it's adjacent or not. Just take a look with the sum of the measures of the given pair of angles. So that's it. You need to really focus on the sum of the measures of the given pair of angles. Now, for congruent angles, two angles that have the same measures. So as you can see, we do have angle ABC and angle PQR, which are both 135 degrees. So actually, we could write this mathematically as angle ABC and angle PQR, and we can use this symbol to show their congruence. Alright? So angle ABC is congruent with angle PQR. Okay, so since they do have the same angle measure. Next, adjacent angles are two coplanar angles that have a common vertex and side but no common interior point. So we do have three conditions. So it should have a common vertex, it should have common side, but there should be no common interior point. So definitely here in our first figure, we do have angle 1 and angle 2 as considered adjacent angles. So the common vertex is point D, this one, and then the common side is ray DB. Okay, again, so I'm gonna write in here the common vertex here is our point D. Okay, while the common side in here is the ray DB. Alright? And lastly, there should be no common interior points. What do we mean by common interior points? So for our angle 1, the common interior points in here actually is this one. The points that we can find here in between the two arms of our given angle. So this is the interior point of our angle 1, while for our angle 2, the common interior the interior points of angle 2 would be this one. The spaces or the points in between the two arms ray DC and ray DB. So as you can see, there's no overlapping portion for angle 1 and angle 2. That means there is no common interior points in here apart from the common side. Alright, so that means this is an example of adjacent angles. Now moving on to the second one, second figure. So we do have angle AOB. So angle AOB, okay, so which is this one, the 40-degree angle, and angle BOC. So angle BOC. So I am referring to this and then this one. So they are adjacent because they do have common vertex. Their common vertex is the point O, and then their common side is ray OB, and then there's no overlapping spaces or points in here apart from the common side. So that means there's no common interior points. Hence, we can conclude that these two angles, angle AOB and angle BOC, are considered adjacent angles. So apart from this, there's a lot more. We can also have angle AOB paired with BOD. So we can also consider this. So this angle paired with BOD. So this angle, still okay. We will not look into the angle measures. Those are not part of the conditions of the description of adjacent angles. Rather, we are just going to consider these three conditions. The two angles should have common vertex, they should have common side, but no common interior point. So this will be our conditions. Okay, so now we again, angle AOB and angle BOD is also considered adjacent angles. It's a pair of adjacent angles. Next, apart from this, we can also have, okay, let me erase for a while. So next we have angle BOC. So I am referring to this portion, this angle BOC and DOC. So DOC. So that means another pair of adjacent angle. Alright. So one more. We can also have angle DOC paired with AOC. So this one. Okay. We can also have this set of pair of angles which we classify as adjacent. So again, you need to consider these three conditions, okay, for us to identify or distinguish if the given pair of angles is actually considered adjacent angles. All right, now let's proceed with linear pair. Two angles formed that are adjacent and supplementary. So here, for example, angle ABC is 130 degrees and angle CBD is 50 degrees. This is supposed to be 180 degrees. So this straight line ABD would give you a 180 degree rotation. So that means 130 plus 50, that would definitely give you 180 degrees supposedly. Alright, so now as you can see, 130 plus 50, that would be 180. So it's actually supplementary. Okay, next, are the two angles adjacent? So I've discussed a while ago adjacent. So are they adjacent? Do they have common vertex? Yes, that's point B. Do they have common side? Yes, we do have ray BC. And though they have common interior points, they don't. Okay, that means we can consider this two angles ABC and CBD as linear pair. Okay, now let's proceed to another example. How about this one? Okay, so we can also have this kind of figure or illustration, and we can find linear pairs. So actually in this figure we can find many sets of linear pairs in here. So first we have angle 1 and angle 4. So I am referring to this and this one. So they are considered linear pairs, right? So they are supplementary and they are adjacent as well. So this is your hint. As you can see, you do have line PQ, which indicates a half circle rotation. So that means that could give you a 180-degree angle, and then it's divided into two angles, so definitely they are adjacent. Alright, they do have common vertex, common side, and they do not have common interior point. So next we do have, apart from that, we can also have angle 2 and angle 4. So this combination, and our indicator this time is this line RS. So, okay, this is half circle rotation, which gives us 180 degrees. So again, if we're going to sum up angle 2 and angle 4, that would give us 180 degrees as well. So same manner with the rest of pairs listed in this example. So we do have angle 2 and angle 3. We do have angle 2 and angle 3. And apart from this, we can also have angle 1 and the angle 3 combination. So it's still an example of linear pair. So that means in two intersecting lines, we can find four sets of linear pairs. All right. This time, let's talk about vertical angles. So non-adjacent angles that are formed by the intersection of two lines. So this is our first example. So by definition, vertical angles are non-adjacent angles. So definitely we cannot have the same with the linear pairs a while ago. We cannot have angle 1 and angle 2 because obviously they are adjacent. So that means for our first example, we do have angle 1 and angle 3. And another pair, we do have angle 2 and angle 4. As easy as that. Okay? Now, another example, so here in this figure, we can also have angle 2 and angle 1, and another we do have angle 3 and angle 4. Now, let us deepen our understanding of our idea about complementary angle. Now, how are we going to find the complement of a given angle provided that we do have one given angle measure? So, basically, we're just going to subtract the measure of the other angle from 90 degrees. So, by definition a while ago, the sum of the measures of the given pair of angles should be 90 degrees for us to classify that pair of angle as complementary. So, basically, other way around, we're just going to subtract the given angle measure from 90 degrees. Now, same manner with finding the supplement. So, but this time, we're just going to subtract the given measure of angle from 180 degrees. So, again, by definition, supplementary angles, the sum of the angle measures of the given pair of angles should be 180 degrees. So, other way around, again, we're going to subtract the measure of the other angle from 180 degrees. Now, for our short activity, let's find out the complement of 75-degree angle. So, basically, this is our given or the hint. Okay, so we have 75-degree angle. What's the complement? So, that means 90 minus 75, that would be 15 degrees. Now, how about what is the supplement of 75 degrees? So, same manner, we're just going to subtract the 75 degrees from 180 degrees. So, 180 minus 75, that would be 105 degrees. So, same goes with number 2. We're going to subtract 15 degrees from 90 to find the complement, while to find its supplement, we subtract 15 degrees from 180 degrees. So that means we're gonna have 165 degrees. Or you can have the shortcut. If you do have 75 degrees for its complement, simply add 90 to get the supplement of the given angle, which is 75 plus 90, it's still 165 degrees. Alright, it's gonna be your choice which process are you going to use, which one is more convenient on your part. Alright, so for number 3, what if we do have this one? The twist is the complement is already given, but actually it's still the same. So if the complement is 32 degrees, to find its complement, okay, so basically it's still 90 degrees minus 32 degrees, so you will have 58 degrees, right? So if you're going to check 58 degrees plus 32 degrees, that's 90 degrees. And then from this idea, this will be your basis already, 58 degrees. Subtract this from 180 degrees to get its complement, and that would be 122 degrees. I hope that is clear to you. Now let's proceed to number 4. This time, the given data is the supplement already. So same manner, you're going to look for the base angle measure. So if the given supplement is 175, what is the other angle measure? So basically it's still 180 minus 175, so that would be 5 degrees. And from this 5 degrees, you're gonna find your complement already. So 90 minus 5, that would be 85 degrees. So lastly, we do have 28 degrees. So same goes with this number 5. It's the same process with number 1 and number 2. So simply 90 minus 28, so 62. And 180 minus 28, that would be 152 degrees. So basically, for you to be able to check easily if you fill in the given table correctly and precisely, you just simply add the angle measures in this second column with the angle measure in the third column, and you should have a sum of 90. Okay, and then for the supplement, to check your answer, you just simply check the angle measure in column 2, add it with the angle measure in column 4, and it should sum up to 180 degrees. So example, 75 degrees plus 15 degrees, it's 90 degrees, so it's correct. 75 degrees plus 105 degrees, it's 180 degrees, so definitely it's correct. So same manner with the rest of the numbers. Now let's have another activity. So what will be this task? So you are going to determine whether each statement is always true, sometimes true, or never true. Okay, so for our first statement, an angle that is complementary to an acute angle is also an acute angle. So this statement is actually always true. So if you are going to analyze the statement, the complementary to an acute angle is also an acute angle. So for example, the given acute angle is 1 degree. So what is the complement of 1 degree? It's 79 degree, right? So if you're going to classify 1 degree and 79 degree, they are both acute angle, right? So that means this statement is always true. Next, a supplement of an obtuse angle is an obtuse angle too. Okay, so what will be our answer for this statement? This is actually never true. Now, a supplement of an obtuse angle is an obtuse angle too. So we all know supplementary angles. This is pair of angles wherein the sum of their angle measures would be exactly 180 degrees. So let's say for example, we do have given obtuse angle. So let's say it's 91 degrees. It's an obtuse angle, right? So 91 degrees. What is the supplement of 91 degrees? So 180 minus 91, that would be 89 degrees. Is 89 degrees an obtuse angle too? No, right? So it will not be an obtuse angle. The supplement will not be an obtuse angle. Otherwise, it will exceed 180 degrees. So let's say, for example, let's have the given obtuse angle is 91 degrees, and you're going to push through on its supplement, which is 91 degrees. Let's say, for example, 91 plus 91, that is 182 degrees, wherein that exceeds the sum of a supplementary angle. So it will never happen. It should not happen because it will not satisfy the definition of supplementary angle. So it is never true. Now, two intersecting lines form four linear pairs. Always true. So if we do have two intersecting lines, so if we call it intersecting lines, that means these two lines intersect at one exact point, and from that intersection, we can see, or we can form, or we can create, or we can find four sets of linear pairs, just like the examples that I've given you a while ago in linear pairs. Alright? Okay, next. Supplementary angles form a linear pair. So this statement is sometimes true. Alright? So for us to have a supplementary angles, we do not mind some other conditions aside from having a sum of 180 degrees. So let's say, for example, in our discussion about supplementary angle a while ago, I've given you an example wherein the two angles are separated. So it's just that the sum of the two separated angles is equal to 180 degrees. That's why I considered it as supplementary angles. But for us to consider that particular angle, pair of angle, to be linear, it should also be adjacent. So definitely, if our example angle is, let's say, we do have let's say, for example, this is 60 degrees, let's say, for example, and then the other one is 120 degrees. So 60 degrees plus 120 degrees, it's 180 degrees. Yes, it's supplementary, but it's not linear pair. Okay, not all supplementary angles are linear pair, because we can have this example wherein the two angles are separated and it will not satisfy the condition or definition of linear pair, because according to the definition of linear pair, it should be supplementary at the same time adjacent. So in a way, if we do have this example of illustration wherein we do have 60 degrees in here, 120 degrees in here, in this case, it is linear pair. But if we consider these two, they are not linear pair. That is why it is sometimes true only. Next, two intersecting lines form two pairs of vertical angles, and that is always true. So let's say, for example, we do have this, two intersecting lines. Then we'll have two pairs. Okay, we have angle 1 and angle 2 as the first vertical angle, set of vertical angle, and then the other one would be this one, angle 3 and angle 4. So we do have two pairs of vertical angles. Correct, it's always true. Next, vertical angles are adjacent angles. This is never true. By definition, vertical angles are non-adjacent angles, because a while ago, again, if this is our vertical angle, they are not adjacent. They will never be adjacent by definition. Alright? Okay, so again, if we're going to go back to the definition of adjacent angle, there should be common vertex. Yes, there is common vertex, but they do not have common side, even though they do not share common interior points. But still, out of the three conditions of adjacent angles, they does not satisfy one condition out of the three conditions. Still, that violates the conditions of adjacent angles. Therefore, generally, we cannot say that vertical angles are also considered adjacent angles. So that will never be true. Okay? Next, congruent angles are angles having the same angle measures. This is actually the definition of congruent angle. So this is always true. Next, two right angles are supplementary. This is actually true. So if we talk about right angles, we all know right angles are those angles measuring 90 degrees. So if we do have two 90 degrees, of course, we would always have a sum of 180 degrees. So definitely, so by definition, it's supplementary angles. So we all know supplementary angles are those pair of angles having the sum of 180 degrees. So it's correct. That's always true. Next, adjacent angles form a linear pair. So do you think if the two angles are adjacent, definitely we will be able to have a linear pair? So this is sometimes true only. So for example, we have this two angles. Let's say this is 70 degrees and let's say this is 30 degrees. So yes, they are adjacent. So A, B, C, D. So angle ABD and angle DBC, they are considered adjacent, but we cannot say that they are linear pair. Why? First of all, their sum is not equal to 180 degrees. Alright? So we do have two conditions for us to classify it as linear pair. So as you can see, yes, they are adjacent, but they are not supplementary. So that means it's sometimes true only. So when can we have an adjacent angle which is also considered a linear pair? Of course, definitely example of linear pair. So here, so these two angles are adjacent at the same time supplementary. But in this case, although they are adjacent, but then they are not supplementary. So they are not linear pair. So this statement is sometimes true only. Vertical angles are complementary angles. This is sometimes true. Okay, so not all the time. So let's say for example, we have this two intersecting lines. Alright, so let's say this is our angle 1 and this is our angle 2. These two angles are vertical angles. So let's say the measure of angle 1 is 70 degrees. So this is also 70 degrees. And if we're going to sum this up, this is 140 degrees. Definitely, they are not complementary. By definition, pag sinabing complementary, it should be the sum of the pair of angles should be 90 degrees. So in this case, this is 140. But we can have two intersecting lines. Let's say this one. Wherein we may encounter complementary angles in our example. Let's say this is 45 degrees, angle 3. And this is angle 4, which is, of course, since they are vertical, they do have the same measure. So angle 3 and angle 4, so 45 degrees plus 45 degrees, that would give us a sum of 90 degrees. So in this scenario, this is a set of complementary angle as well, apart from being vertical angles. Alright? So in this case, this statement is true. But in this scenario, this statement, this contradicts the statement. So that means the statement generally will be considered sometimes true only. Alright? Next, this time, we're going to identify the given angle pair, okay, based on the given illustration. Now, angle PMQ, where's angle PMQ in here? So we have angle PMQ and QMR. So what can we say with these two angles? They are considered adjacent. Okay, adjacent angles. Alright. Okay, next. How about angle TMP? TMP, okay, TMP, this one, and RMP. So RMP. Okay, so we are referring to this one. So what can we say with these two angles? So they are considered what? They are considered supplementary and adjacent. So we all know we do have this one specific relationship for this kind of angle. If they are both supplementary and adjacent, we call them, the relationship exists as what? Linear pair. Okay, very good. It's linear pair. Okay, they are both adjacent and supplementary. Moving on to TMS. Where is TMS? So we have here, and PMR. So we have PMR. TMS and PMR. So we have here. Alright. So we have TMS and PMR. So what relationship can we see based here in the illustration? So I am referring to this part. This one. Just as I make use of a larger arc. Okay, so can you now distinguish what is the relationship of these two angles? They are actually what? They are vertical angles. Very good. So this is considered vertical angles. Okay, moving on. How about this one? QMR. QMR and the SMR. So SMR. This one. So they are actually, okay, we do have two answers in here. We can distinguish the relationship as adjacent angles. Okay, yes, we can classify it as adjacent angles. And apart from adjacent angles, what else? So we can also distinguish the relationship complementary angles. Very good. So we have complementary angles. Okay, let's consider this one as well. So either of the two is correct. We can have adjacent angles. Yes, it exists. And we can also consider complementary angles. Okay, because as you can see, we do have PMQ, which is 90 degrees. Definitely this one is also 90 degrees. Alright, next we do have PMQ. Where is PMQ? So PMQ is this one, and SMQ, this one. Alright, so as you can see, they are again adjacent and supplementary. So that means we can identify the relationship exists as linear pair. Yeah, so again, it's linear pair since they are both adjacent and supplementary. Okay, so if your answer here is only supplementary or only adjacent, so definitely I will not consider, because you are going to identify the general relationship exists since they are both adjacent and supplementary. You need to identify that they are considered linear pair. Alright, next One more. Okay, one more set of example. So here, let's have angle HKA. So HKE, HKE, and then FKG. FKG. So in this scenario, this shows vertical angle relationship. Alright? Next, JKG, this one, and GKF, this one. Okay, we do not have the proof that they are complementary or 90 degrees, but we can consider the adjacent angles. Alright? So we do have adjacent angles. We cannot assume that they are 90 degrees because we do not have the given angle measures or the indicator of 90 degrees, but we can consider the adjacent angles. Alright? Next, we have HKE, so this one, and EKF, this one. In this scenario, we can see that we do have half a circle rotation indicated by the straight line HF. So that means HKE and EKF are considered, this pair will be considered linear pair. Okay, they are adjacent at the same time supplementary. Okay, lastly, we do have HKJ. HKJ. So this is the angle. Okay, referring to HKJ and JKF. Okay, this one. Okay, so same manner, as you can see, they are adjacent at the same time supplementary. Well, therefore, we can conclude that they are, again, linear pair. Okay, so just like what I mentioned a while ago, if your answer is only adjacent or only supplementary, I will not consider. You need to generalize the idea that since it is both adjacent and supplementary, it should be classified as linear pair, or the relationship exists in general would be linear pair since it satisfies the condition, or by definition of linear pair, it is both adjacent and supplementary. Now let's proceed with identifying the angle measures. Now, so here, measure of angle CFE, measure of angle DFE. Now, for me, my strategy in dealing with this kind of problem or activity, I would usually start with identifying the angle measure of all the existing adjacent angles in here. So let's say, for example, in here for CFD, basically because of the indicator, it's 90 degrees. Okay, and now angle BFA, I will utilize all the existing hints. So we have angle BFA is 40 degrees. So that means its vertical angle also measures 40 degrees. Okay, and then next to this is, we all know that TFE is 40 degrees already, and AFE is supplementary with DFE, or generally AFE and DFE is considered linear pair. Hence, this is 180 minus 40 degrees. This is 140 degrees. Or you can also have the idea of vertical angles. AFE and BFD are vertical angles. So 50 plus 90, it is also 140 degrees. This one is also 140 degrees, right? So definitely you can utilize that hint as well. So you will have the same answer. It's still 140 degrees. So we're done already. We can now proceed with filling in or identifying what is asked. So CFD is here 90 degrees. Next, DFE. So DFE, so we have here 40 degrees. Next, we have AFE, which is 140 degrees. So this one, AFE. Next, we have BFD, BFD. So definitely this one. So this is 140 degrees as well. Next, CFE, CFE. So that means we're gonna have CFE is, you are referring to this one, the 90 degree angle plus 40 degree angle. So that means this is 130 degrees for CFE. And lastly, CFA, CFA. Alright, so that means we're gonna have the 90 degree angle. Now, as you can see, all the angle measures that we've got in here are angles less than 180 degrees. So because during our discussion, we just only focus on those acute, right, and obtuse angles. So although we do have the tendency of having an angle measure greater than 180 degrees, but as of this moment, we're just going to focus up until obtuse angle. So those angles greater than 180 degrees are not yet be discussed in this lesson. We're just going to focus with up until obtuse angles. Alright? Next, one more example. So for our given illustration, it's fortunately the angle measures are already given. So we can go directly on filling in what is asked in the problem. So HBK versus HBK. So that means this one. So it's 45 degrees. Next, we have KBG. KBG. So you are referring to this one. So we're just going to sum it up. 65 plus 70, it's 135 degrees. Next, we have JBM. JBM. So this time, we are referring to this angle. So JBM. So that means you're just going to add up 70 and 45. That would be 115 degrees. Okay, moving on. Let's proceed to MBH. Where is MBH? Now this one. So basically, we do have 135 degrees. And lastly, for JBH, where is JBH? Okay, so referring to this one, JBH. So JBH. So that means this angle. Okay, this angle. So 65 plus 45 degrees, that would be 110 degrees. Alright? So that's all. I hope you understand how to get the angle measures based on the given existing figures and applying the relationships of angles that were discussed a while ago. So thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully you got a lot of ideas from this video, and see you on our next video lesson. Thank you.